Hey everybody, it's your pal Val back with another video, and this time I'd like to do it on an actual topic. The topic is the Snow White movie from Disney, the live action Snow White movie from Disney. That is the clearly the talked about topic of the hour, or maybe it was a couple hours ago because the internet moves pretty fast. But I figured before the next outrage happens, I wanted to just give my 2 cents in this outrage, um, and speak from a little bit of experience, which is, would be very interesting. So basically, this movie, I don't think it's doing very well, and a lot of people are blaming it on the reputation of its star. I believe her name is Rachel Ziegler, and I don't really know her from much other stuff. I mean, just but she's the star of this movie, and I think Gail Gadot, Gail Gadot plays the evil queen, and there's blame put on Rachel for this movie failing, and then there's some blame also put on Gal Gal Gadot Gal. There's also blame put on her, and and should they be blamed at all? And why are they being blamed? Let's explore this. So for Rachel Ziegler, it's basically she had this reputation on the social medias and the Instagram, TikToks, whatever, of being kind of annoying and overly pushy with her political beliefs. I know people will fight. Some people say she has a right to, and she has a right to do it. Well, see, uh, and I didn't know much about. I wasn't really following her social media at all. So I did sit down and watch one of her social media videos about voting for Kamala Harris, and if you don't like it, you can just block her, and I don't know what the word she used, but something like like you don't need to buy any of her products, or whatever. And that is the okay. So that last point is the thing where I when you say like a star showrunner, whoever has the right to be like this hostile to part of their potential audience. This is kind of where I it's a bit of a sticky wicky for me, because it's sort of like, and I've seen this a bunch of times over the past any number of years, like over the past, what, 5 years, 8 years. A thing where, like, you'll have the star of the TV show or the movie, or the creator of the comic book or whatever, be like, well, you know it's either that, well, dear haters, you don't have to buy this, or it's like, just sort of proactively talking about the haters and sort of gleefully being like, oh, the haters are going to hate this now. um which I get that when you're facing, and I will give the concrete examples from personal experience on this before you cry complete bullshit to what I'm saying. But like, to just be to sort of pick to proactively pick fights with the haters, and to even proactively label your new project as something that, oh, the haters are going to hate this. I mean, that's a bold marketing strategy, and it could kind of work, maybe. Like, maybe that's like, it's like, oh, punk rock, everything like that. Or it could alienate a huge amount of your audience, and then your thing fails, and then you go, why did this fail? And it's like, well, because the people who didn't watch it are bad people. And I've just watched this cycle go through pop culture, like, for the last, my God, it's been more than 8 years. It's been like 10, 12 years. Just this continual cycle of, like, I'm into esoteric stuff, and, like, like woo woo stuff. So I'm going to define it as like, it's bad energy going after bad energy. Like the trolls, bad energy, right? Somebody's going, bad energy. But then it's like, you're the star of this production. You're the showrunner. You're the writer. You're the artist. You're whatever, and you just are going to throw more bad energy into that mix, or you're going to even proactively throw it. So you're going to proactively brand your thing as, oh, the haters are going to hate this. You've already proactively branded your thing. Hate, gleeful hate, fighting on the internet. You've like, when you do that, man, I think that's a bad effing idea. I think it's a bad idea because you're throwing more bad energy after bad energy, and you're starting this cycle of bad energy. And it's like, and again, to this Rachel Ziegler like video, like it's her messages about like, feminism and, vote Kamala Harris and these different things. These, I understand that these are issues that are important to people, right? But when you sort of contextualize it in this like super, I hate to say smug, but it's kind of this smug sort of like, you're not communicating with people, right? You're not communicating with people. You like, you may have these issues, these social issues that you feel very like deeply about. You feel very deeply about them. What do you want to do with that? Like, what do you want to do with that? Do you want to continue to fight with people on the internet, make it this gleeful thing and be like, ha, I win and you lose and I'm smart and you're dumb and this and that? Or do you want to communicate with people? Or do you want to communicate with people about your position? Or do you want to communicate with people just who you are? Get people to know you. Sometimes that can make a lot of difference. Okay? And then, it's like how you sell it. And some people say, I don't have to sell it. F the haters. I don't have to sell anything. They don't like it. They're bad people. And, but this is, this is where we are. This is how we got to where we are in the United States. It's because of it's partially because of this, and so, and then you may ask me, well, you're just talking. You may say to me like, you're just talking out of your ass, Phil. Like, you're just F you and this and that, and you don't know. But au contraire, because I do know. I do know what I'm talking about. Here it is. Here we go. There we go. I do know what I'm talking about. See this book? See, this is an actual genuine ass Marvel comic. You know who wrote this? I did. I wrote this comic. And this thing came out like 2009, 2010 or whatever. And when this book was coming out, this was positioned as a angry feminist comic book. Ask me how well that went. Ask me how well that went. This was promoted by Marvel, and admittedly by yours truly. It's an angry feminist comic that will own the chuds, and that will make them really angry that my feminist schmutz were all over this Punisher thing, right? And did it work? No, it didn't work. What did it do? It made things worse. Was there trolls? Would there have been trolls that would have been angry that a woman was doing a comic book like this about the Punisher? Just for ground level would have been angry? Yes. But having this comic contextualized with this gleeful sort of super thing like, oh, this is really going to make the trolls angry. That shit don't work. That shit makes things worse. It makes things worse. Okay? It makes things worse. How many times can I say it makes things worse? I could say it 25 times. It makes things worse. It's putting bad energy after bad energy, and you're not selling the things that are important to you to people who might have a different opinion. And there's a funny thing. It's like, I had so much hate mail over that comic. I had so much hate mail. People never read the comic, right? They just had hate that it existed, right? And then some of those same people, like 5, 8, 10 years later, are come up to me and it's like, I finally read that book and it was very good. Because it wasn't sold. I didn't sell. I take your responsibility. I didn't sell it, but Marvel didn't sell it that well either, because Marvel was like, this is going to own the chuds. This is going to own the chuds. And it's just, it does, so when you put that type of energy on a project, and it's like it would be Snow White or Doctor Who or the latest Marvel thing or whatever. When you put that type of energy on it, so I'm just speaking from personal experience. Like I've had to learn the hard way. I had to learn the hard way. Like I had to learn the journey I went on was, and this is a video for another time, and it will be a video for another time because I think it's important. Um, I made that comic. I was hanging around people and stuff where it was like, yeah, this is a super political thing, and we're going to change the world. We're going to do this, and we're going to own the incels. We're going to do all this stuff, and blah, 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 blah. And it wasn't something. In the end, it well, I mean, part of it was that I think in the end, the people involved didn't think I was committed enough to Sparkle Motion or whatever. If you remember that Donnie Darko quote, I doubt your commitment to Sparkle Motion. I seemed very. I'm more of a middle of the road person, like I'm more of like, and I think I didn't fit in. I didn't fit in with that sort of. So I mean, I was cast out of there. But it was a weird thing because I was cast out of that whole thing, but yet I had been marketed as being like super like that, and so then the other side didn't like me either, and so it was just like I was just like in the wilderness, and so I had to learn piece by piece. I just started talking to people, who would listen, who would I have conversations with. Here's my life, who am I going to hang out with on the internet? Like just all these things I had to learn. And one of the things I'm telling you, I learned, it's instead of fighting with people like that, sometimes the best thing you can do is have the other side, and I hate the word sides, there's this side and this side, but have the other side get to know you. Outside of just, even to make a point, just get them to, have them get to know you, have them get to know you, because it's, I mean, I would say my final thoughts on the Snow White movie is like every time I look at advertising materials, anything about it online, I just think of this alternate universe where this movie would have been, accepted with open arms. It would have been great, and Rachel Ziegler would be like, oh, she's adorable. And everything would have been, oh my goodness, the woman who played Wonder Woman is playing the evil queen. That's amazing. And so that's all I can think about, and then it's, I was watching these peeps fight online about, this one girl was telling this other guy, or whatever the heck, it was like, you're hating the Snow White movie for the wrong reason. You're bad. You're hating it for the wrong reason. You're hating it because of feminism and Rachel Ziegler and this and that. But that's not, you're a bad person. The reason you should be hating it is because Gal Gadot, is pro-Israeli. See, if you hated it for that, then you'd be a good person. But you're hating it for the, and I'm like watching all this stuff, and holy crap, then you just think of these gigantic movie studios and all these millions and millions and billions of dollars and all this whole thing, and it's just sort of like, and then you go back to watching these people fight, like just pick things apart, just like in this minuscule sort of manner, and it's just, I don't know, man. I'm just saying, there's got to be a better way to sell, and I'm using the word sell, that's right, to sell, to deliver your message, to have other people, to connect with people with empathy. And I think with the Snow White movie, I don't know what the heck happened there, I just for a bunch of these projects, it's like, it's this kind of, it's too bad, because a bunch of these projects that people, have now, where the stars and the writers, the showrunners, those people are fighting with the fans. A bunch of these projects, like, I mean, some of them suck, and some of them, really, they're pretty decent. But again, I'm talking about energy. It's been purposely just sprayed over with all this bad energy, and you could say, well, controversy sells. Sometimes, you know, does it sell for a massive franchise that you kind of need to get a certain amount of this is why they're making all these sequels for all these movies now and everything like and you know they're just like it's like I'm just gonna do Goonies 2. That's it. Goonies 2, just straightforward, just bring everybody on board. Goonies 2. Maybe that's the way to go. Maybe that's well, side issues that like these live actions Disney stuff with all the special effects and I mean specifically like the computer generated stuff and I don't know. So they did have this one dwarf in the Snow White movie that seemed to be uncredited, designed on Alfred E. Newman, the mascot for the Mad Magazine humor uh, periodical. The if you know Alfred E. Newman, there's one dwarf who looks just like, and I think he's dopey, and he looks just like Alfred E. Newman, and so I was rooting for the dwarf, which I think I don't even know if that's the correct nomenclature to call him. It was called Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I don't. I was rooting for this. I give up. But be kind to each other out there, people. Just be kind to each other. We're all in this together. All right. Take care.